you were to remake that now, I think it would have to be much more diverse, and it would have to be, you couldn't make a movie that white.
Hey, we're doing this again. Molly Ringwald. That's Molly Ringwald. She's from my generation, the Gen X stuff. I am Mecca. Please subscribe to this channel if you want the greatest takes in the grift tube, apparently. Am I part of grift tube, or do I just comment on grift tube anymore? What's grift tube? It's the site of the internet where we take every topic and every entertainment property, and we have to put it on a side, make a stance, talk about it as like this variety clip here with Molly Ringwald talking about Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, The Breakfast, all of our movies. She's talking about all of our movies. This is all of our movies. They're very white and they don't represent what it's like to be a teenager in school in America today. Yes, because they were made in the 1980s. They represent a movie about the 1980s. Why do we have to make this an issue? Why are we making this an issue? Let's hear the whole thing. I'm blowing it out of context. This is a 40-second clip. Let's hear.
Those movies, the movies that, I'm so well known for, they were very much of a time, and if you were to remake that now, I think it would have to.
Yeah, okay, she's right. They're very much of a time. It was the 80s, when we didn't have to worry about anything other than, I suppose, in Gen X, our parents were all just buying everything. They were all the yuppies, right? They were in this generation of excess. It was the Keeping Up with the Joneses generation, wasn't it? It was this overspending,
I can't believe I ate that whole thing.
If we're just looking at, the ethnic makeup of the 1980s.
Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball.
And the movies in the 1980s and the culture of the 1980s. Can we talk about the decade of excess? The decade of, those with the most toys win.
Greed.
That was a big thing in the 1980s. Can we talk about,
for lack of a better word, is good.
Some of those out-of-date, cultural,
greed is right,
sort of things that I think really need to be addressed.
Greed works.
Where we're kind of in this society where we're so into trying to fix everything that went wrong there, and we're so quick and easy to blame. Hey, people kind of are struggling right now, and the world's a completely different place, and a lot of people are kind of waking up going, hey, Gen Xers, we've been kind of doing our thing for a while, and now we're noticing, why doesn't anything work?
The bridge is out!
Why can't we get anything done or accomplished as a society or a species? Why do all of our movies suck?
This sucks. Change it.
All of our TV, not all of them, but for the most part, all of these, every single movie and studio has a streaming service where they're going in and they're grabbing our old nostalgic properties. And they come in, what do? They reboot them for a quote-unquote modern new audience that isn't there to begin with because society is different. So what are we talking about? Rebooting The Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, how you couldn't do that because society has changed. I agree, society has changed. Do we have to be baited into this sort of make it about the ethnic makeup of like just that? Is that really the problem, right? Or we could kind of use our brains and say, you know what these tribes are doing with this? You know what they're doing with this? They're making everything an argument where we have to kind of dance around every single subject because we don't know how it's going to be reacted to. We don't know what we can and can't say. If you want to support this channel, I really, really, really would appreciate if you do so.
The following video is brought to you through the generous support of viewers like you. If you like this content, then please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing this video. And for those who are in the position to donate, this channel thanks you. And so does this orange cat.
Let's see what else she has to say.
To be much more diverse.
Diversity.
Guys, look at the moon.
Diversity.
And it would have to be, you couldn't make a movie that white.
Diversity.
Guys, look at the moon.
Now.
What's happening, hot stuff?
Almost 40 years. 40 years have passed. That's a terrible. I'm so sorry, Molly. I'm freeze framing on her at the wrong moment. She's like, can you at least get a good freeze frame on me? I'm sorry. This is everybody's school crush from the 80s, wasn't it? All you guys, everybody. I know. She's gorgeous. I could at least freeze frame her face a little better. I'm sorry.
Movies are really, really very white.
Okay, so that apologetic for are the movies of their time, absolutely. But guess what? Wasn't like stopped and referenced every 5 seconds? That needs to go. This time, right? Of this time where we stop and have a debate and discussion.
Diversity.
When we're just kind of appreciating. I know this is somebody's question and this is just some clickbait thing. She's at a Miami Film Festival here. They're honoring Molly Ringwald for the Creative Vanguard Award at the Miami Film Festival. Okay, so obviously you always have these people who are going to come in and ask a question just to get, we gotcha.
Diversity.
Guys, look at the moon.
As a society, it's getting a little bit uncomfortable to sit there and watch these actors and actresses going, we have to do something about all of yeah, they're really white. Ooh, just say, yeah, different times back then. Make a new movie, yeah, they can't make them today. Well, they can't make new movies today either that do very well. What happens when they do new movies? They flop big time. How many of these movies have done well since Barbie? Barbie's the only one that even did very well last year, isn't it?
And they don't really represent, what it is to be a teenager in a school in America today, I don't think.
Yes, and you can make this exact same point without referencing your ethnic diversity or the lack thereof in the 1980s in these, fictional John Hughes universe movies that, we all grew up watching. You can make this point that, yeah, today everybody's on TikTok. It's a completely different generation. You're not going to school talking about the movie you saw over the weekend, You're not coming into school talking about the video game you rented at Blockbuster or anything. This is a different time, a different day and age. Everything is instant access, instantly on your phones. Movies, they're declining. Why? People don't have 2.5 hours to sit there and watch something unless it's going to be like the most amazing spectacle. And that's your entire thing. Like your entire thing is the Marvel fandom. And your entire thing or the Harry Potter or the Star Wars or whatever you're into, right? And we went through that cultural shift in the 2000s where the geek fandoms and the franchises were so huge. And now we're like, okay, monies are tight, times are tight, things are tight. What can we do now? And
diversity.
Guys, look at the moon.
now we're kind of going really quickly we're still shifting the focus and the blame on some of these things, and some of these things that are only there to create a tribal yay or cringe. I was a little kid in the 1980s. I didn't make these films. I didn't have any say on how the country looked. We didn't have any say in how the country and the films and all that were made. What we do have a say in now is letting people know we don't have to always constantly put in this tribal thing, this testing of the waters. And I see this so much. Just look how stiff her body language is. She's just waiting for that. Did I say the right thing? Did I say I don't want to get canceled? But now what's going to happen? We have this anti-cancel culture. Grift on GriftTube on YouTube. Welcome to YouTube and the GriftTube. I am your griftiest of the grift tubers. Now, what's going to happen? Everybody's going to go, Ree, she said a thing. And everybody's going to tribe up and ratio the crap out of this tweet. I was making the point earlier, we don't have to bring in a political side into everything. Say, yeah, then times have changed so much. Look, we're all on our cell phones and everybody's on TikTok and stuff now. Everything is on your phone. Your whole entire livelihood is on your phone now. It's a completely different culture. How do you make a 2-hour theatrical thing that you have a lot of people? How do you broadcast something to a lot of people all at once? Television's going by the wayside. Movies are going by the wayside. Right? I mean, we still have movies. We're not going to get rid of them entirely, but it's not exactly the same experience it was in the 80s or 90s. It's a completely different thing. And until we get all these streamers and things sorted out, And we kind of can get to a point in history where we can kind of grow up past this. Yeah, in the past, things were different. Yeah, yes?
So
Yes,
you
they
know,
were.
But
They were.
But I think that they were really great, you know, and they were of that time, and they really represented John Hughes's experience, and that's what he was writing to his own personal.
Yeah.
Those movies.
So she does correct herself there, and she's like, wait a minute, I've made a thing, and now people on the internet are going to come in and pick apart and say, how dare you, you're istophobic against white people or whatever on the grift tube side of things. Hey, I'm aware of both of them, huh? What do you guys think? Is this just one more of those instances where this kind of out-of-date social justice fight, like, we can tone this stuff down. We can really tone this stuff down. I think that does nothing but gets people angry. And do we really need to get people angry again? Or are we kind of needing another chill out, plaid sort of phase of the universe? I am Mecca. I'm going to go over to plaid, I think. I had lunch with like half of a hockey team too, so
Drop the taco. Get in the car.
I'm still rooting for Vegas. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!
Guys, look at the moon.